switched the mare lightly for more speed. He should have known his dark, handsome father would charm the island folk. "I hope you'll ride up to the island to see Old Christ Church at Frederica, Mr. Dodge. Your father seems so interested in our having a new church here at the mills." Too angry this morning to ask his father for a horse, Anson had agreed to ride Horace's mare, Bessie, and was grateful that Horace was there to see him off. Anson Sr. was there too, smiling, making his infuriating fatherly speeches. "I know you'll have a wonderful day, son. I imagine Horace has told you about Fort Frederica and the dilapidated old church. When you see that church, you'll realize why we need a new one down here at the mills." Anson Green, Phelps Dodge Sr., one arm around Horace Gould's slight shoulders, waved vigorously as his son rode off down the road, leaving young Anson no alternative but to wave back. The road from the mills turned north, away from the sea, toward the ghost town of Frederica and Christchurch. Almost without realizing it, he began to slow Bessie to a trot. He had ridden about 3 miles, he guessed, into a silence made by birds and wind and trees. With his mother, he had walked through cathedrals in Europe and experienced something of what he experienced now. But he had felt small and unrelated to the cathedrals, in awe of their grandeur, half afraid of their shadows. The impact of this moment alone on Frederica Road pushed out the walls of his soul. But he was not in awe of what he saw. He was at one with it. No one was watching. He didn't need to act mature or traveled or educated. He could be himself, not the son of a wealthy stranger for whom he had been named, not the grandson of a famous New York merchant prince, not even the beloved son of his beloved mother. He could be himself. Anson turned in the saddle, looking slowly from tree to tree along the wooded walls of this bright, deep place he had found. He saw the trees untouched except by birds and raccoons, and rain and wind and the light. The way they began in God's mind, tree beside tree, dense, standing together at random and at home. A furry raccoon padded out from the palmetto thicket. "Hello," Anson called. The coon glanced at him casually, then went back into the color and the wonder, back into the pine trees, oak trees, gum trees, cedar trees, nut trees, butternut, he supposed, as yellow now as butter, and lighting the woods all around him. He marveled at the light. As magnificent as these trees were, they would be like any other trees, without the island light. Dismounting, he hitched the mare to the silvery stump of a dead oak tree and ran to stand in the heart of one long, sharp shadow that slashed the white shell road, half expecting to feel it. He felt the warm morning sun instead, right in the heart of the shadow, and, delighting to discover that this was not shade, but true shadow, walked to the edge of the woods a few feet from the narrow road. For a moment, he stood with his hands thrust self-consciously into his pockets, his head to one side, pretending to examine something in particular. Then he remembered. No one was watching. Like a jubilant child, he leaped the ditch and threw both arms around a big live oak tree. Smiling at himself, he swung back into the saddle and moved slowly up Frederica Road again. That had been a silly thing to do, hugging a tree, but he didn't care. It was all right if he hugged a tree, all right with him, all right with the island, all right with God. He had just glimpsed the crooked wooden